Hello everyone, Republic Jim here. I'm back in the barn getting ready for a high volume squat set. It's hard to believe it's already like a week into October in 2025. The year's just flying by, which I guess is what happens when you get old. And temperature's cooling off in here. But it's been well over 2 years now since I did high rep squat sets where I was really pushing for the higher number of reps. And I had, like over 2.5 years ago, I'd managed to hit over 50 reps with 185, and then I bumped it all the way up to 205, and I had hit a maximum of 35 reps with that. And I should clarify, that's rest pause style, where I just rep out as many as I can continuously and then just keep the bar on my back and keep doing 1 or 2 reps as I can and not re-racking the bar until the suffering gets so bad that I can't continue. But anyway, I'd hit a maximum of 35. I was trying to work my way up to 50, and unfortunately had a number of different setbacks over the intervening months and couple of years now, including several nagging injuries and various personal issues, including my wife's relatively recent health crisis that took me out of the gym completely. And then part of it is I just had to admit to myself that even when I planned on doing it, I was just procrastinating, just because of how uncomfortable it is doing the ultra high reps on squats, and how much pain and suffering there is for the next several days afterwards. So I've just been putting that off, and I keep planning on doing it and then finding excuses not to. But today I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and do it. A couple weeks ago I did a leg session, and at the end of that, after I'd already done a fair amount of volume on squats, and I put 205 on the bar, and I was able to get 20 reps before I had to rack it. So I know I still have at least some of that capability there. I'm sincerely hoping that I can get more today. However, I'm tired, I'm sore, I've got a bit of a sinus issue that's making my teeth ache, and so, it's certainly not at my best, and it's kind of crazy to do this right now, but you probably suspect by now that I'm kind of crazy anyway, and people that know me well are certain of it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it, and what I'm doing is I have 205 on the bar. I'll rep out as many as I possibly can before it just gets to be too much and I have to re-rack. And then it's not technically a true drop set, but I'm going to strip the 35-pound plates off each side and then pick it up again and do as many more reps as I can do with 135. Also, doing high rep drop sets with squats is pretty crazy, but I don't expect to be able to do a huge number of reps at this point, so I want to get in a little bit more volume, so that's why I'm going to drop it down then and do 135. If I had people in the gym to just strip the weights for me, I wouldn't have to re-rack it. I'd be able to do a real drop set, but it is what it is. I'm here by myself, so I'll just re-rack it, strip those as quickly as I can, pick it up and continue on, and just really be one with the suffering there. And so, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And it should be several minutes of agony here, and then I'll get back to you afterwards. Oh, and I should also point out my standard disclaimer when I'm doing squats on video. Don't do squats like I do facing away from the rack. It always is much safer to be facing into the rack unrack it and back up and then re-rack it going forwards, because there's certainly a potential for accidents to happen when re-racking, walking backwards when extremely fatigued. But again, I'm kind of crazy and I'm comfortable with doing it this way. I'm aware of the risks and I'll continue to do it, but I encourage other people to do it safely. So anyway, that said, here goes. Okay. One moment. Okay, well, that's it for this time. I lost track how many reps I did, but of course I'll figure that out once I watch the replay. But I felt like my quads still had a little more in them, although I've got a massive pump going right now. Probably will really struggle with stairs tomorrow, which sucks because my office is in a basement. But anyway, it's probably noticeable that what was causing me the most problem was just trying to breathe, which is usually the case with high rep squats. It just gets harder and harder. I get winded, and then with that bar just pressing down on the torso, it really gets difficult to draw a good breath. So I'm not going to totally push it to the limit where I risk blacking out. Since I'm out here by myself, that wouldn't be a good idea. But anyhow, that's my first attempt at a comeback on the high rep squats. And I'm going to do my best to be more consistent and do that more frequently and really work at pushing those numbers. And you know, I'm rapidly closing in on 59, and a little over a month from now I'll turn 59. So I only have a limited amount of years left before my progress starts to slide a little bit. So I want to really push it and see what I can do now while I'm still, you know, not at that point of slow decline. So yeah, just look for more updates and over the next few months and see how it goes. I would really like to be able to hit 50 reps with 205 by the end of the year, but as I said, I'll have to be pretty consistent doing it more often, and I'll have to see how my recovery goes with that. But if I'm able to do it a little more frequently, I think it's not going to take too many rounds of doing that to get my rep numbers up more. So I feel like I've already got a good start on it, and I'll be coming back strong. So as long as I can stay injury free, I should be putting up some pretty good numbers. And you know, then when and if I'm able to achieve 50 or more reps with 205, then I'll consider bumping up the weight again and restarting and, you know, progressing up, pushing those higher numbers. But for now, it's a start. Hope that was interesting. This has been Republic Gym. I'll talk to you later.